Thought we'd do a short Talaria Komodo review, just in case there's people who are curious about it like I was. But some of the reviews out there don't necessarily do the same kind of riding. I come from more of a motocross background and some trail riding. I rode two-strokes most of my life until I had kids. And now I have a 15-year-old daughter who wanted to learn how to ride dirt bikes, which is awesome for me. So rather than go the four-stroke route, I decided to try out these electric bikes just because I didn't want to maintain a four-stroke. I don't like the way they sound, and when I did ride them, I wasn't a huge fan of them anyway. They seem kind of sluggish and not as fun. Now the electric bikes have been pretty easy. It's nice they don't make a lot of noise. We can talk to each other most of the time.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about starting her bike, starting my bike, all that good stuff. But yeah, now we're gonna ride around. We're in Tucson, Arizona, we're just outside of it, by the Pinal Air Park, and we're gonna ride some motocross. Go ahead, Kai, I'll follow you.
It's a long way.
Yeah, so people probably are mostly curious about what kind of power this bike has. And I will say, for doing desert riding like this, it probably has the perfect amount of power. I've got plenty of power just to get on the gas whenever I want. You can break the tires free. I've been at 50 miles an hour, and I can still power slide with the back end. That's okay, that's okay. No power complaints from the bike at all. I can tell if I were on a track, I would probably want more power when there's better traction. But for being in the desert where it's slick out here, at least in Arizona, there's got more than enough power to get you in trouble. I do ride around in hyper mode. I had my brother out on this the first time we had it, and he liked riding around in sport mode. He's, at least as good, maybe a little bit better at some aspects as riding as I am, but the bike has plenty of power for the desert. Suspension here, we're going through some, big-ish desert whoops. Here's Kaya and her 79 bike in front of me. The suspension is not amazing. Now, it's way better than the toy bikes, which I call the smaller bikes. My daughter, Kai, has a 79 bike, and the suspension isn't horrible on it, but it feels like a toy when you ride it compared to this one. Looking down on it, we got this bike from Ronster Rides. I guess Ronster Rides. It does have fairings on it, like it has radiators, which, as an old, motocross guy, looking down at it, feels like I'm actually on a dirt bike. And I will also say that when you squeeze the front of the bike, it feels damn near like my old two-stroke. It feels substantial under you, which makes it real comfortable compared to the smaller size bikes that did not have that. You squeeze the front of my daughter's bike and there's literally nothing there. It feels like your legs are, you're missing something between your legs. This one does not have that. Braking power on this is really good. The front brakes are perfect. They feel like, motocross bike brakes. The rear, while they stop, really, they do lock up with one finger pull, no problem. The pull is about twice as hard as the front, which isn't that big of a deal, except for when you're getting arm pump. Riding some motocross, it will be hard to pull in when you're feeling it. Going into a corner, if you want to square the corner up and really lock up the rear brake, I can tell a huge difference then. So if I could change one thing, it would definitely put the however many calipers are on the front brake, I'd definitely put them on the rear too. That being said, the bike is definitely fun to ride still. As we watch Kai ride through some open desert area, openish around creosote and whatnot, one of the more important things to me as far as riding bikes is how they handle, how they turn. This bike, I would say, is comparable to my RM 250. It's very nimble. It's fun to pitch the rear end around. It can get out of hand quickly. My brother wasn't a huge fan of it. One modification we did make is we put 100 by 18 rear tire on it, and 80 by 121 on the front. So it does have more traction. The old tires weren't bad. It did break free a little bit easy. I preferred that in some instances. It was a little bit fun, but I can see where, you know, my brother crashed it a couple times in some burns because he just lost traction too fast. It's very fun to pitch out. Get sideways there. I can also do a power slide with full feet on the pegs, just using the throttle on this bike, which is something I'm not used to doing coming from the two-stroke world and four-stroke world. Probably do it all the time, but that was kind of new to me, and it speaks well to the throttle control of this thing as well. You know, going to electric bikes, I was always worried about not having a clutch. I relied on my clutch all the time. My two-strokes. Not having a clutch was a big concern of mine, but I've gotten used to having so much throttle control. And I use the brakes now as well for the rear brake to kind of modulate the control of the throttle as well when I need to. But yeah, that's actually gone over pretty well for me. I was always thinking, you know, would I always want a clutch even on an electric bike for how I ride? And I'm not so sure I need to have one now. Here's a little tiny jump, nothing too crazy. Suspension handles everything pretty well so far. I don't like the way it necessarily feels. I've never had an air fork before, and I believe these are air forks. It feels different to me. Right now I have the compression turned, I think, all the way up, or one click from the top on the forks, up pretty high in the shock as well. And I turned the rebound, I think I have it at 6. It came with the rebound, I think almost all the way up, if not all the way up, and it was, you would hit the whoops and it almost bucked you off like you're riding a bucking bronco. So kind of got that dialed down. Still don't love the suspension. I have a Dust Moto Hightail on order that comes with Cirrus suspension. I'll be excited when that comes in to kind of compare that to this, but I'm hoping the suspension is a lot more of what I'm used to. But so I've got this set up now to where I can ride pretty much everything I want so far. I am in my mid-40s now, so I'm not doing the jumps I used to do when I was in my 20s. So I haven't hit anything too big that would, you know, maybe bottom out the suspension. But here's my daughter practicing. We made some ruts out here. She's practicing her rut turns. We get it?
Woo!
All right, that's the end of our ride. Spent about an hour and a half on the ride. Cut it short today because Kai crashed pretty hard into a tree. I don't remember exactly what the mileage was when we started, but I'm now at 69%, not riding that hard, so you can see it battery lasts a while longer. I think the hardest I've ridden, I think I've come back with a 43% battery after a couple hours of pretty hard riding. Yeah, so that's it. Anyone has any kind of questions, I will keep an eye on Kai's comment section to see if I can help anyone out and answer any questions. Thanks.